For most people, Sun Tzu is a name associated with battlefields, generals, and strategy memes shared by entrepreneurs who have never actually read him. He is often portrayed as a philosopher of victory, a mystical thinker who deciphered the psychology of conflict. Yet this version completely misses the point, because once you strip away the slogans and legends, you discover something far more interesting. Sun Tzu was not concerned with winning wars, but with avoiding them. He was not interested in glory, discipline, or domination. He was concerned with cost in a world that exhausted itself through endless warfare. Sun Tzu was one of the first thinkers to state a truth with unsettling clarity. Sun Tzu, believed to have lived in the 6th century BCE, is one of the most important military thinkers and strategists in Chinese history. His real name is known as Sun Wu. The work that immortalized him is The Art of War, Bing Fa, a book that is still read and debated today. Information about Sun Tzu's life is limited and partly intertwined with legend. However, his ideas have endured for nearly 2,500 years without losing their influence. It is thought that Sun Tzu was born during the Spring and Autumn period, an era marked by political turmoil and constant warfare in China. At the time, China was divided into many small states competing with one another. Continuous conflict, resource scarcity, and political instability created the conditions that allowed Sun Tzu to analyze not only the battlefield, but also human nature, power relations, and resource management in depth. According to historical records, Sun Tzu entered the service of King He Lu of the state of Wu. The king wished to test Sun Tzu's strategic intelligence. One of the most famous anecdotes recounts how Sun Tzu trained the palace concubines as soldiers, demonstrating in practice how vital discipline, hierarchy, and rules are in warfare. This episode proved that he was not merely a theorist, but a leader capable of turning strategy into action. Although war and strategy are the first things that come to mind when Sun Tzu is mentioned, a careful reading of The Art of War reveals that he also possessed a powerful financial and economic mind. For Sun Tzu, war was not a clash of swords, but a system for managing time, labor, and resources. He argued that prolonged wars impoverish states, exhaust the people, and weaken even the victor. This idea aligns perfectly with one of the most fundamental principles of modern finance. Whoever cannot control costs cannot win. Sun Tzu maintained that if the cost of victory exceeds its gain, then it is not a true victory. What matters is not merely winning, but the price at which one wins. This perspective directly corresponds to modern concepts such as profit-loss analysis, budget management, and sustainable growth. Efficiency occupies a central place in Sun Tzu's thinking. Rather than wearing down the enemy through direct confrontation on the battlefield, he advocated weakening them economically, cutting supply lines, destroying morale, and draining resources. These are, in essence, strategies for collapsing an opponent's budget. Today, corporate price competition, supply chain maneuvers, and market share battles operate according to the same logic. One of Sun Tzu's most powerful insights concerns investment in information. His famous statement, "If you know yourself and know your enemy, you need not fear the outcome of 100 battles," is not only a military principle, but also an economic one. Accurate information prevents bad investments and unnecessary expenses. What data analytics, market research, and financial reports are today, Sun Tzu's spies were in his time. Information is the cheapest yet most effective investment. Sun Tzu also emphasized that preparation reduces cost. Lack of planning and rushed decisions are always expensive. Strategic planning carried out in advance, however, reduces losses in times of crisis and creates advantage. In his view, the most profitable victory is the one achieved without fighting. In short, Sun Tzu was not merely a soldier or a general, but a universal thinker who decoded human nature, conflict, and resource management. He does not speak directly about money, yet he teaches how to think like money. For this reason, The Art of War remains a bedside book not only for generals, but also for managers, investors, and entrepreneurs. Sun Tzu's genius lies not in the sword, but in a calculating mind.